What's going on? We are going to talk about necks today. That's at the heart of every guitar. That's what I feel makes our guitars so special and so amazing. And we're never, ever resting or stopping. We're always pushing through and improving the process constantly. So the first step is we are going to take a neck blank off the wall. All of these neck blanks have been paired together. So like you can see this one here, it says 11 and 11, 7 and 7, 14 and 14, or 41, dyslexic there, 15 and 15. So what happens is these are paired up, matching grain, so the coloration's the same, the tone is going to be the same. And when we go to glue these together, everything's done in-house. And then we're going to take and we're going to thermal treat all of the necks. So we are going to put them through a secondary kiln drying process. So the wood is pre-dried, and then when we glue them together, we add a little bit of moisture, right? The actual glue itself is going to add some moisture when we go ahead and laminate them together. And then we're going to put them through a process after we machine the top and get everything perfectly smooth and perfectly flat. And then it goes through a process, depending on the neck material, what woods they are, can take up to 4 weeks, right? So we put that through the process, and then we grab a neck off of this back wall, depending on what options you select. So you're not waiting that extra 3-4 weeks for that process. During that treatment process, what we do is we superheat the neck up slowly, and then we get it to a point and we slow dry it. While it's slow drying, or slow cooling, I should say, the neck is strapped down. And because it's strapped down really tight, we're kind of tempering it almost like you would steel. And what that does is when you go out on tour and it's really hot or really cold or really moist and really dry, we don't want your neck moving around. So no matter where we're shipping it worldwide, we want that neck, the guitar, to show up ready to play. Should be in tune, ready to go. Worst case scenario, maybe the string stretched a little bit, you do a little tuning, but I don't want you to be adjusting truss rods. I want you to be playing instruments, making music. So that is how all of our necks are done, right? So that's the starting process. So when we pull one of these off, let's just grab some random builds here. Okay, so here we go. Here's step one. We're going to cut it down to get it close to the right shape. So this happens to be a Vader bass. I should have had this queued up with all of the same instrument. Then we're going to go ahead and cut the angle into it to remove some material for the machine to help the machine out. And one more step before that. Do I have one? Maybe I don't. I do. Check this out. All right, so here we go. So then the machine's going to cut the shape in. Get that out of the way. It's going to cut the shape in. We're going to cut the slots for the carbon fiber reinforcement rods, we're going to cut the slot for the two-way truss rod. And then these get bonded all the way in perfectly and nice and tight. They're not just loosely set in there. Okay, so here's a carbon fiber rod that goes in. I've showed this a few times, but I'm going to show you again. And I am going to, oh, come on. It's like bending and twisting. Like, oh. I can't move this thing, right? So the concept is we're putting two of them in. And you might go, well, if they're that strong, how do you get the relief? The really cool thing about the system we came up with that's now used by a lot of guitar companies, not necessarily the same grade of materials, but a lot of people are advertising carbon fiber reinforced necks. And we made that standard back in 15 on our guitars because it's giving you guys a better playing neck, right? So the carbon fiber we're using is the strongest that I can buy. I could buy carbon fiber that looks exactly the same that I could snap like that for fractions of the price. But we don't want to skimp on quality for you guys. So these get bonded in and locked in. And then the truss rod will push down to give you a little bit of relief. And the rods are keeping it flat, almost locking the neck in place. So then we're going to put a pattern on here. And look at Michael is cutting, oh, he's cutting a fingerboard. I thought he was cutting a neck. I was like, what frickin' timing? So then we're going to bandsaw it. You can see that, just to remove the excess material. And then the CNC is going to do this, which I got this queued up. We're going to kick this one off. We're going to see a little bit of machine action running. Now the ball ending process here, we used to move our machine 50 thousandths at a time, which is still not very much. I'm now moving it 15 thousandths. So nearly doing 3 passes for every 1 pass that we used to do previously. What that's doing, it's giving you guys a more consistent, better neck. Taking us a lot longer, but here is what we're putting out now. So see if you can see the lines, Brandon. Can you even see any machine lines? Can you zoom way in and try to look at get it to look as shitty as possible, Brandon? This has not been hand sanded. This has just been done on our CNC. It's nearly perfect. We still have to hand sand, and this takes us a lot longer to do it this way, but it's giving you guys a much, much more consistent, better product. Not that we needed to make them any better, but we're always looking to improve things for you guys. We'll come back to this in a second. I'm going to show you we put fingerboards on and how we maintain that same consistency. What's up, Scott? How are you? Doing good. You happen to have any fingerboards that need to go on over in this station? You just glued them all up. That's my luck. I'm looking for something. That's great that you're on top of it. Do we have any fingerboards for these necks over there? You happen to have this one? I don't see the name. Maybe it's an extra? Let me just grab a regular 6. This is probably it. So you can see the pin here and the pin down here. That's going to correspond when we line this up and glue it together. So we're going to use these pins. Sorry, Scott. Scott, is it the top one or the bottom one? Bottom one. I can never remember it. I'm going to ask again next time because I won't be able to remember that. So that pin goes in. And then another pin up here. And so what happens is these pins are going to line up with the holes on the back of the fingerboard. And these pins are what we use to run all of our fret slots, any inlays that we may have done. And it's going to hold it in place with perfect intonation. There's no shifting as we clamp. And this is the right way of building a neck. We put a 2-way truss rod in. gonna be, I believe this one. Yep, the shorter one. So this two-way truss rod's gonna go right in here like that. I don't wanna push it all the way down because they're hard to get back out. So I'll let Scott do that, but this two-way truss rod goes in there. And the great thing about doing a two-way truss rod is you have the ability to go either way. So they're all level right now, but as you tighten it, it's fixed on either end and it's going to curve it up or bow it back. And that's going to put the proper amount of tension on the neck while having the carbon fiber rods holding it straight. So when you get to that point where you like the action, the rods are gonna push against this truss rod, locking it in place. So it's so important. The way we do it makes all the difference in the world. Let's go check this neck out because everybody loves seeing the CNC action. It's kind of mesmerizing. But look at that, we were over there for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes messing around and we haven't even halfway ran this neck. In the past, this would have already been done. But the way we're doing things now and just really spending even more time makes all the difference in the world. It's giving you guys the best, most consistent neck over and over and over again. And that way too, there's less for the guys to hand shape or sand out, and so the neck will be more consistent. The problem with this process is for us is it takes so long, and it also too wears out the machine more because the machine is having to move so much more. So there is wear and tear. There's going to be bits too that are not going to last quite as long. But at the end of the day, it's always about pushing the envelope and making a better quality product for you guys. Once we glue the fingerboard onto the neck and it gets bonded, I don't know if they have any radiusing going on. I'm probably not timed very good here. We'll take something like this and we're going to put lines in it. This one's already been done. And then we're going to radius the fingerboard. So we're going to get radius perfect. And once it's radius, we press frets in one at a time. The fret wire that we use here is made by Jescar. It is a German-made fret wire. It's the best fret wire, in our opinion, that money can buy. We actually buy it per pound. So we pay for it per pound, not per inch or per fret. So as the markets change and stuff, our fret wire will go up and down in price. But the thing that we like to do here is we buy the proper radius. And when I say the proper radius, this is rolled out for us. So we pay to have it rolled out to match our fingerboard radius. So we offer a 10-inch, which is more like a fender. So you'll have a fender strat will be about a 9 to a 9.5. A telly can be as curved as a 7.5. So the lower the number, the more curvature there is. Then we also offer a 12, more like a Gibson. 14 is our standard. And then we also do a 20. And for those of you that like something that's a compound, we do a 12 to 16. We come over here, we're going to be pressing frets in one at a time. So you can see this neck here. We got a 22 fret J bass. Beautiful inlays on that. Pull the tags off of that. Rosewood fingerboard. And so as we're pressing the frets in, we have a neck cradle here. The frets are pressed in literally one at a time. This auger is only going to put one in, and we have the different radius tools here. So here's a 10, and here's a 20, our most extreme. Let's put these kind of, see if you guys can see the difference here. See the difference between a 10 and a 20? Can you see it good enough or no? Let me go a little lower. Bit. There we go. That's probably better. Yeah. So a 10 and a 20. So typically when you hear people that play a lot of rhythm, so you're a rhythm player, you're not a shredder, you're going to want something closer to a 10. And that's the nice thing about a compound radius, because as you're playing a lot of rhythm up top, you get that 12-inch radius, and then as you want to rip and shred and melt some faces, you go lower, and Now you're getting that 16. So that is a great option for you. We do offer different neck profiles. We have our standard, we have a thinner, and we have a thicker. Our necks are going to be a C-like shape. They're very comfortable, very fast-playing necks. We offer different finishes on the back. Tongue oil is going to be standard. You can get a satin finish that is going to have just a little bit different feel than a tongue oil. And then we also do gloss if you prefer a gloss neck. We offer a bunch of different headstock shapes and a bunch of different fingerboard woods and inlays. So you can really customize, you know, from mild to wild. There's a pretty cool neck through. Got an ebony fingerboard, and this happens to have a 5-piece neck. You got the maple with walnut stripes on that one. Let's see what else we could show you guys over here. Look at this massive thing. You got the 9-string. Same carbon fiber rods in the 9 as in a 6. Well, it's probably a 7. Yeah, that's a 7. I don't have a 6 here. I have a 6 headless. Look at the size delta difference between the two of these. Just massively different. These all feature our brand new neck heel. So you can see the new neck heel, the radius neck heel. And that really allows, you know, better access. A lot of the people that are getting the new neck heel, that's a new update for 2025, are comparing these instruments to neck through construction as far as the comfort, the access, and the playability. It's been a big, massive change for us. Obviously, a lot more labor for us, but you know, giving you guys a better product at the end of the day. Let's check out our fretting department. As I get the squirrel going here, some of these cool fingerboards. What's up, buddy? How are you? Doing a little live. We're talking about necks and how we build our necks. You got a beautiful K series here, it looks like. Doing some fret work on a color treated board. So when Nick's doing the fret work, or any of the guys are doing fret work here, obviously using fret rockers, making sure everything's perfect, and then beveling the edges, crowning them, fine detail on them, and then fine polishing them at the end. But what is this going to take you to? You're just starting now. It looks like you're breaking the edges. Yeah. What's this going to take you time-wise? An hour. Yeah. And that's at this level too. This is after all of the radiusing's been done. This is after the frets have been pressed in. So, you know, you got so much work, so much attention and love goes into every single one of these. No Plek machines here, just time. Thanks, brother. So before we're doing any of the fret work, making sure everything's straight. What's up, dude? Just checking everything with a straight edge. So we want to make sure we adjust our truss rod to get everything straight before starting our fret work. If it's not, that wouldn't be a good thing. We don't ever want to take material away from your frets. So you guys have heard about Plek machines, and a Plek machine is a great tool for a neck that's not straight, that's not level, that's not even. So, you know, if we were buying necks, an import line, and we had a price point we're trying to hit, you know, a $500 guitar, a $1,000 guitar with an overseas neck, the Plek machine would be great. You throw that thing in there, and you grind away the frets to get something playable on a bad neck, really. Let's call it what it is. So what we do is we get our necks perfect. We get the fretboards perfect, the radius perfect, press the frets in one at a time. Make sure before we do the fret work, everything's lined up. We don't have any high frets, and then we do the fret work. It's the attention to detail, the meticulousness. I see my daughter working on a neck. Let's go, hurry, go, before she runs, go. Oh yeah, here she goes. She's out of here. What you working on, Kayla? Sanding. Kayla's working on a neck here. Got that new heel. Beautiful neck. Look at that. All right, Kayla, go to town. We're going to film you. We'll leave Kayla alone. Not everybody wants the mic, right? So sometimes I get the mic. Once the necks are done, we'll just check this one out. JD's getting ready to work on. JD runs our neck department back here. Been here for over 21 years now, and gonna match this up. Sorry, JD, to kind of hop in. Well, shit, I'll let you do your thing. Sorry.
Usually when we get it, it's a little snug, and you have to bring it in to get it a perfect fit. So I'm gonna sand the sides in just a little bit.
So he's got a little block here to make sure everything stays flat and true. And we always shoot for the neck to fit nice and snug in the pocket. You know,
make sure it stays 90 degrees. Get there. A little bit better.
all this takes time, you know, but at the end of the day, it's going to yield a better product, a better fit and finish. I think does help the tone when they fit nice and tight in there within reason. You know, we don't want to be so tight that they're cracking anything once they're finished and painted and everything. So using a fine grit there just to get just enough material. Rather spend a little bit more time and sneak up on it rather than go too much and then, you know, it's not fitting properly.
Once it's too loose, you can't put that wood back. Here we go, perfect.
And look at that. Look at that. Look how tight that is.
Perfect.
Tight like a tiger. Look at that thing, man. That's awesome. Thanks, JD. See on the back side here, some of the different woods too. Even on this side, we'll have some that the guys have to pull from the opposite side, depending. We always try to keep good quantities of our fingerboards in stock. You can see like some buckeye over here. It's super dusty, but trying to always make sure that we are buying enough woods, getting everything ready, because some of the woods like buckeye, we have to let it air dry, so we'll buy it, and sometimes we're waiting 2 years to be able to actually use it. So just kind of a little nerdy detail. But hopefully you guys learned something cool about our guitars, about our necks, and about our constant pursuit of making the instruments better for you. That's what it's all about. I get excited about coming in here. I'm in the middle of a project, and it's always neat when we can make improvements, and that's always the goal here. So if you have any questions, as always, call my guys.